Today, we are going to talk about intermittent fasting for serious weight loss. There are many magical and cool things about intermittent fasting that you need to be aware of. Firstly, it's extremely cheap. In fact, it's free. You'll save money. It's easy and doesn't require any effort, as you're not doing something, you're just avoiding something, food. Fasting gives you extra time, so you're not constantly cooking all day. Fasting can help you live longer, make you smarter by improving your cognitive function, elevate your mood and lower your risk for many diseases. So, there are a lot of benefits. However, there are a couple of drawbacks to fasting. Firstly, you'll lose a lot of weight, meaning you'll have to spend more money on clothes. Secondly, because you're not cooking all day, you'll have a lot of extra time on your hands, which you'll need to find something to do. Finally, because you're not spending all this extra money on food, you'll have a lot of extra money that you have to figure out what to do with, and that's a problem. Intermittent fasting is not a diet, it's a pattern of eating and not eating, putting you in the driver's seat of when you tell your body it can eat and when it needs to avoid eating. The worst question to ask your body is, what is my body in the mood for today? You'll get an insane answer. In fact, if I asked that question right now, I'd probably get the answer, a donut, maybe some M&Ms, potato chips. So many times, you'll get a very unhealthy answer if you ask your body what it's in the mood for. This especially applies when your blood sugars are a problem, because if your blood sugars are too low or too high, you'll get an insane answer. It's like you being in the back seat of a car and having some insane driver drive you around. This is not a good situation because you're no longer in control, and unfortunately, food has been controlling you your entire life. In fact, our whole existence revolves around food. Doing intermittent fasting starts to put you in control over this insanity, which is a very powerful thing for you personally, with your willpower, with your self-discipline, and especially for your health. The one thing you need to know about intermittent fasting is that every time you eat, you trigger insulin. Insulin not only increases with sugar and carbs, but also from just eating in general. The less frequently you eat, the less insulin you'll trigger, and the more benefits you'll have. Our bodies have evolved over a very long period of time not eating because long ago, food wasn't very available. So, our bodies have adapted and developed all sorts of very amazing genetics for surviving without food. When I'm talking about survival, I'm talking about those genes that are survival genes, repair genes, disease genes turning off, like cancer turns off when you fast. So all sorts of fascinating survival things related to your DNA get activated when you start fasting. To apply intermittent fasting, take an average person who's doing 3 meals with snacks in between meals, so they're doing 6 meals a day, and getting a lot of spikes of insulin through the day. The first thing to do is to stop snacking. Then, you just have 3 meals a day, and you do that until you're comfortable. Then, the next stage is to skip your breakfast or that first meal. When you wake up in the morning, because you're not snacking, you're not really going to be hungry, especially if you're doing keto, but this video is not necessarily on keto. Regenerate response.